Coming to you live from the orbiting underground moon base, it's the LRRcast!
Drop the bass. Wow.
We should probably do an album of
You
just
added
that.
more bass when you dropped the bass.
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
No, that's
the
next level.
secret.
It drops so far, it comes back in,
That's the secret.
right?
It's the LRRcast!
Yeah.
How is everybody doing today?
Holla.
No, I'm asking you guys.
Wait, what?
I was asking how you guys are doing today.
I'm doing good. How are you, James?
I'm fantastic. Paul, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
That's cool. Well, that's everybody. So
Alex.
let's.
Alex.
Oh, Alex is here.
I am an ordinary meat human.
I have mean you no harm, carbon things.
Disgusting.
Oh,
Filthy
dear.
carbon things.
So I hope everybody's doing well today. As you can see, Graham is absent from the podcast.
Well, no, we
this
can't
week.
see it because he's not here.
Okay. As you can see by his absence.
As you can't see.
As you
As
can't see
him.
As you can
or hear.
infer through omission.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you are, of course, listening to this, as you can not hear Graham saying, shut the fuck up and get on with the goddamn podcast, he's not here.
Yeah.
Well.
So you're stuck with the four of us.
Wah, wah.
Do you have anything that we didn't actually discuss beforehand? If we had anything to talk about other than just jumping right into Askler?
Whoops.
Let's actually hold on. Hey, if you go to the store, the Maximum Spoop shirts will either be up by the time this podcast goes up or will go up very quickly.
Ooh.
Maximum Spoop, of course.
I need one of those.
You saw them at LRRCon. You probably have seen maybe Graham wearing his. James, did you pick one up too?
Yeah, I have one.
It is the Spoopy Ghost from the Let's Nope, and he's on his own shirt because he is very cute. His name is Spoopifer.
So you can.
Spoopifer. You came up with a name.
Yeah.
Spoopifer. Amazing.
Spoopifer.
Well, people ask me if he had a name.
Is he related to the creepy doll in any way?
No.
Do they hang out?
He's-
I feel like they hang out. They have to hang
I
out.
feel like Spoopifer, just by the fact that he is a ghost, is actually a force of good spoops. And Creepy Doll is just like, oh god, no, why? Ah!
So maybe they're enemies.
He's a ghost
I
who
don't
comes
know.
along
Like
and
the
taps
creepy
you
doll
I
on
feel
the
like
shoulder
Spoopifer.
Yes.
before there's a jump scare.
I feel like both of these guys have jobs and they respect each other.
Oh,
but
I
at the
see.
end of the day, when they clock out, they're just two regular things. that want to hang out and have a drink.
So they're more like coworkers.
Yeah.
Coworkers.
I mean,
Coworkers
they aren't
and,
working like together, but
Maybe-
they understand that they both have important roles in their society, and
Yeah.
that at 5 o'clock, everybody's just
My imagination
thing.
is like a low-budget version of Halloween Town.
Oh,
From-
man.
from the Nightmare
That's
Before Christmas.
that actually sounds really adorable.
What we need though now is for Tally to make a 3-foot version of it
Oh, wow.
to
I was
hang out with
actually-
Creepy Doll.
I was actually thinking for one that we should look into making spoopies.
Yep.
Little mini spoops. so if something scary is going to happen, you can take your spoop and be like, spoops ahead.
Oh, thanks. Spoop soon, fellow stalker.
When?
So
Soon.
Spoopifer doesn't actually scare you. He just notifies you that something scary is going to
Yes.
happen.
That would be
Yeah.
super helpful. He's like, that thing's going to scare you.
He's like
So
like
he's
a,
an adorable
he's
little.
like a banshall, but with scary things instead of death.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Fair
guy's-
enough,
That
fair
guy's
enough.
going to turn inside out and melt.
All right.
So that shirt is either available soon or available right now. That's LoadingReadyRun.com/store.
Yay.
Maximum spoop.
Sweet. All right. I don't think we have anything else to talk about, so let's answer questions. This week we asked you guys on Facebook. So here are all of our Facebook questions.
Like to switch it up, different places.
Michael Douglas says, "Why are your questions burning? Shouldn't you get that checked out?" That's hilarious.
Oh, Michael Douglas. How is Catherine Zeta-Jones?
Ah, I see what you did there.
Yeah, I'm very witty.
Yeah, we just turned that around on you, all right?
Yeah.
Ooh, pop culture references.
All right, let's move on to an actual question. Michael asks, "Do you get recognized in the street by fans?" Yeah, it
Yep.
happens
Occasionally.
from time to time.
It's
It's I mean, especially like Victoria is probably the place where it happens the most often.
Yeah.
But it's
Well,
always
yeah, I mean, Victoria or the streets of Seattle during PAX or the
Yeah.
streets of Boston during PAX or you
I
know,
mean, it's always like it happens every once in a while that I'll just be like traveling for something non-loading ready run related,
yeah.
and not a convention or anything, and just some random person will be like, "Hey."
Yeah.
So I can tell the story now. When Paul and Graham and I went down to Seattle for Conspiracy, which of course we could talk about. We walked like from the seaplane terminal to a car rental place because the car rental place beside the seaplane terminal was just like there was one guy working there, and we waited there for like 20 minutes, and like nobody knew where he was, and we're like, this is stupid. We have places to be. So we walked to the next closest car rental place, which was closed. So we had to walk to the next closest car rental place. So we actually walked a really long way and had to walk past like the Amazon campus, and we got recognized a couple times. It was really cool. Once by a guy who was running and gave Graham a sweaty high five.
Yes. The
I feel-
sweatiest high five.
I feel
Gross.
that is like the optimal time to deploy a sweaty high five.
It's true, yeah.
It's true, yeah. It's better than a
When
sweaty
they
high
have no
five
choice.
when there's nothing going on that you should be sweating about.
Yeah.
It's like you're walking in the middle of
That's
the
weirdly creepy.
the Arctic tundra, and you get like this oddly moist high five, and you're like, why?
All right.
Weird.
Next up, Lindsay asks, do you have the crap shots planned out in advance, or is it a spur of the moment thing? I've noticed they often tie into other videos. Not that that's a bad thing. You guys definitely got your money's worth out of the limo.
It's
Alex,
both,
go for it.
actually.
It
Yeah,
is
about
both.
50-50, yeah.
Yeah, we have a document going where if we come up with a red hot idea, we'll just slam it in there, and hopefully we'll describe it with enough detail that we can replicate it later.
Not always.
I mean, I can.
But then we'll also just be like, can we just do a crap
Yeah,
shot
can we
here?
just?
Well,
yeah.
like, I mean, when we had the limo was a perfect example. The fortune teller set that we built.
Yeah.
When we find
we'll-
ourselves in a situation with a sketch that is unique enough that it would warrant, something like a crap shot. Because I mean, if we're just doing like a talking heads in somebody's living room,
Yeah, it's
there's
like whatever.
no inspiration there for a crap shot. But when we set up something like the fortune teller set, all of a sudden we're like, well, wait a minute, like we went to all this work.
Yeah.
Let's get some
It's
mileage
like
out of
wherever
this.
possible, we'll try and get a little extra mileage off of those
Yeah.
particular shoots.
Value.
But I mean,
Value.
like,
is what
Yeah,
sometimes-
exactly.
But I mean, like for like the last few crap shots that went up, like I know the box one.
Oh my
Graham
God.
was
Well, I
like,
mean, well,
let's just we got this box. We should write a crap shot for it, and we just like.
We also
threw
happen to
ideas.
have the isolation booth from the
Yeah,
episode
from
of
the-
Friday nights.
So you
Yep.
can like film inside
Yeah.
a box.
I mean, I can tell you that the last two
Good
crap
editing on
shots,
that, by the way, Alex.
the last two crap shots that have gone up, and the next two that went up, were all shot within like in the same afternoon, and they were all just ones we came up with off the top of our head. I
Yeah.
think.
Like
the
sometimes it'll be inspired by like a prop or a situation.
Yep.
Oftentimes it's like a conversation that goes off the rails, and we'll be
Yep.
like, yeah, that's a crap shot.
Well, cause it's nice because you only have to make it like 30 seconds, so it doesn't need a good resolution.
Or any resolution at all.
We do try to sort of batch them up, though. We'll shoot a bunch at the same time, and then we'll shoot like one or two at other times if we are inspired by something in particular.
All right. David asks, what is your favorite sketch that you weren't involved in, and why? I'm not gonna lie, there aren't that many out there that I think.
For me, it would be the where there are ways to goof off while Graham and Paul aren't there. Like the one sketch that's I think the only sketch we've ever done that neither Graham nor I were involved at any stage of the process.
Yeah, not from the writing,
From
to
the
the
writing
filming
to the edit,
editing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And so
That's
it
pretty
was,
funny.
we got to just sort of see what the end result was, and so that was a lot of fun.
For me, it was it was a classic too, one that I know you all love, which was "Son of a Bitch."
Oh man, I was gonna say that.
"Son of a Bitch" was one of the few. Is definitely one of the few that I was out of town that week. I think I was away on vacation the day you guys filmed that. Normally, I would have seen the script ahead of time, but I chose not to. I find when especially these days, and I think that was the first time I ever really did it, is that if I'm away and I know you guys are filming and I don't know what the script is about, I won't read the script.
Nice.
Because
so just, like,
I would
see it there, but you won't actually listen.
Yeah,
to
because
it.
I'll see it. And most recently, I can't remember, a couple weeks ago this happened. When I was away on my honeymoon, you guys filmed something. So whatever you guys filmed while I was away. I saw the script. I could have read it, but I was like, no, I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to watch the video with the rest of the world and actually experience it like you guys do, which is rare. That doesn't happen very often.
They're so delightful when you get to do that. I got a very similar experience I can't think of my favorite one, but everything is fine. My dad was in town, and he always gives me sort of the guilty gears of, I work weekends, but you never have weekends free. And I was like, Dad,
what do you want me to do about it?
I was like, well, I'm sort of, my weekends are like Wednesday and Thursday, but, that's fine. So I took the week, I was like, I will take the week off from work. I will like not be in there at all on Saturday. And then I watched Everything Is Fine, and it was awesome.
That was a lot of fun to shoot.
Yeah, that
My
was a
dad's
good one.
really nice, but occasionally he's like,
Alex, you got one?
Oh shit.
You can take. There's nothing wrong with taking, with saying.
Yeah, I mean, like,
son of a bitch.
I can't. Like, none of them jump to mind.
What
straight
about
away.
since you've been regularly working with us? Because like son of a bitch, you were still in Toronto, I think.
Yeah,
At
but
that
like
point.
more recently.
Like in the last 2 or 3 years, I guess.
unless they all run together.
Well,
They do,
they
yeah.
all run together. And the other thing is that like most of the ones, even the ones you don't see me in, I'm usually following these guys around.
Yeah,
on
'cause you're
camera,
there,
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, that's the case for a lot of us.
yeah,
right?
it's really
I mean,
hard for me to think of one that I like wasn't around for that somebody else.
All right,
was
well,
shooting.
let's-
but anyway,
Let's move on. Kyle would like to know if there's any set date for the Kickstarter Iron Stomach Challenge and tennis ball videos. I can tell you the tennis ball videos, we were basically just waiting for either the weather to get nice, if we have to do it outside. So that'll happen soon. Probably, it'll happen this summer.
It's going to happen after July 5th.
Yeah,
for
it'll happen. Yeah,
reasons.
we've decided it happens after their wedding.
Because
so
I'm
you don't
I'm
show up with bruises.
Yeah, exactly.
I bruise easily, and I do not wish to be covered in bruises like all over my extremities. So sorry, guys.
And the Iron Stomach, we'll probably we need to do that soon. So I would say
Real
probably like June. Like we got to get that done. So
Blech.
probably June. Look out for it.
Get ready for some spew.
Reggie, I'm having a picnic with my friends soon, and I'm looking at foods to bring. What might you folks suggest?
Well, I mean, how far do you have to take this stuff? Like how
Souffle.
Well, okay, let's just say it's a picnic, and he has a cooler, and they're going down to the beach. I mean, like,
I'm a big fan of sort of the picnic staples. Like the fried chicken.
Really?
That's a staple for picnics?
I've never heard
chicken?
of.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
No, that's weird, Paul.
When I think picnic, I'm like,
don't know.
I'm like
I'm like
sandwiches and fruit.
I'm
and
thinking
shit.
sandwiches and like
potato salad.
Oh, yeah.
and,
Potato
like,
salad.
deviled eggs. It's good.
Ooh, deviled eggs.
like those classy sandwiches with the crusts cut off.
Yep.
Those are good.
Like just fruit
That
salads.
only work for picnics for some reason.
No, you know what? You could do bento. That would work. Like
That's true.
like onigiri, stuff like that.
I'm also a big fan of just like a nice loaf of bread, a nice block of cheese, and like a nice block of meat.
You just take a bite of
And-
each.
No, and
alternate-
just like a knife, and just be like just sort of make little sandwiches for yourself.
You got like a really good baguette and some good cheese and some good meat, and then you're good to go.
All right.
Or just eat them all in order. Just make sure you eat 2 bites of bread for every.
very important.
Yeah,
that's-
otherwise you'll be unbalanced. It'll
that's
be
fair.
weird.
You just like put it in a chain, so you're like bread, cheese, bread, meat.
All right, this got weird. Julius asks, what was the longest continuous time it took to film a sketch?
Oh wow.
Continuous time?
Yeah, so what's the
longest day.
the longest day we've ever had?
Longest shoot day.
We've done. I know. Well, I mean, during like the original run
Of
of
Commodore Hustle?
Commodore Hustle, we did some pretty long days.
We almost
With
I mean,
Friday,
they weren't
like
even
Friday nights, we've shot all day and then gone to YJ and shot.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
right.
I mean the thing
And
with
sometimes like into a second day.
the original Commodore Hustle is we actually normally split those over 2 days. They
At
were
least-
long
at
days.
least, if-
yeah, I mean
if-
sometimes they were 3. Like we never I don't think any of those long form hustles were shot in a day.
No, definitely not.
I think probably the longest that we spend shooting, at least recently, is probably we've done a few like 12-hour days. Like we have like gotten here like early, and then we have been shooting till late at night, or at least some of us have. Like usually the last few people out are like Graham and me and Alex, but that is not 12 hours of continuous work because
No,
otherwise
I mean-
people would revolt. So usually it lasts that long because we have a dinner break in there, so nobody gets angry.
And or lunch break. So
Yeah.
Hangry.
hangry.
Angry is actually the more serious case.
Yes.
All right.
So
Paul
many deaths due to hanger.
Paul asks, "Can you please do a feed dump Scottish special?"
I didn't ask that.
Sorry, Paul McCool.
I can't. What? His last name is McCool?
Yep.
Wow.
And he can't lie. This is Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. So you
Oh,
know he's
man.
right.
if we
You
ever
might be cooler
get
than me.
all Scottish news, but Scottish news is not super common. Your country is too normal. Sorry.
I'm
I feel
sure
it-
he would disagree with that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's also so much the lure of everybody doing terrible fake Scottish accents
Oh man,
would
that would
be so
that
strong.
would be so
Ugh.
embarrassing.
No.
And I feel like
Oh.
that would be just bad for everybody.
No,
involved.
we're not doing
The
that.
news articles like man drinks pint in field. You adjacent.
Nice. All right.
Oh, way to
You
stereotype.
just your head
That's
explodes.
racist.
All right. Tom asks, what do you think is the biggest difference between your work now and your work 5 years ago? Is it
Pacing.
even that different
Pacing.
in your
Pacing.
opinions? Well, okay. I mean,
You mean the
I think he's talking about is our actual like
the way we
our,
work or
the
the
way
end
we
result?
work. No, I think he's talking about the way we work, not
Workflow?
like the video that goes up.
We're a lot more organized now.
We have better
I
equipment.
mean, kind of. We have
Yeah,
better. We definitely have better equipment.
We plan better than we used to.
We plan better.
Well, yeah,
than
'cause
we plan it all because we didn't really used to plan that much.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah.
problem is that just by the sheer number of things we have to do, like the number of series that we have, we
Yeah.
have to plan. We can't, like 5 years ago, things like Unskippable and Feed Dump and Friday Nights and even Commodore Hustle, those didn't exist, really.
Unskippable might have been.
Yeah,
5 years.
Unskippable.
Yeah.
Not 5 years ago. Oh, 2009? When did it start?
I think we started.
It started 2009. So it was like right at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
But we didn't have like 4 weekly shows, a monthly episode of Friday Nights.
So yeah, by
Yeah, I
necessity,
mean-
we've definitely had to be a little bit more
Yeah. I'm gonna,
organized.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I mean, because of the Kickstarter and because of our continued success, I guess we have like we have basically 2 days, like we have Friday and Saturday, whereas before it was we had Saturday and then
And then
we would
whatever
try to
time
do
people would throw in during the week.
we would try to do stuff on other days if we could.
And then the rest of the week we have sort of stream programming. Which
oh
is,
yeah, well of
which
course
is-
yeah. I mean that.
Well, I mean, yeah, and like even before Strip Search, like Paul and Graham worked on it, but like James came in like 1 day a week. I came in like, I was here on the weekends, but I had a full-time job in addition to doing Loading Ready Run. So it was just like if we wanted to get stuff done with anybody who wasn't Graham and Paul, we had to be like, all right, who's free Wednesday evening? Who's free Thursday evening? Who's free Sunday afternoon? And it was a lot more difficult to get stuff done.
Yep. And it's also, I mean, what the big change that I've noticed actually, specifically about with this the since we've been in like the Moonbase 3.0 or whatever,
Mark 3.
Mark
Come on.
3.
Come
Right.
on.
I guess we don't have point releases of Moonbase.
That's just a shed we built.
Yeah. But since we've been in the Moonbase Mark III, since we've started doing the streaming, a lot of the time when I get here, there'll be somebody else here already. Like the Moonbase is more utilized
It's
now
way more active.
than,
Yeah.
than
Oh, yeah,
it
than
ever
it has.
was before, which I think is definitely a positive thing.
Well, yeah, we pay for it. We
Yeah.
might as well use it.
So there's just a lot more activity. We'll be on a on an afternoon. There'll sometimes be sort of 5 people in here. Somebody streaming, somebody doing some editing. Somebody if we're like Graham and I are having a meeting about something, or we're working on something else. We have 2 editing stations, a iMac out in the
Which usually
outside
Common area.
outside area, which can be used for all sorts of things, plus the streaming area. So, and often all of those stations are actually active, which
I've
is pretty
actually
cool.
started coming in on Mondays because I work from home, right? Which is fantastic for not putting on pants, but it's really bad for being distracted by things like your cats and like, oh God, I should do the dishes kind of thing. So I started coming in on Mondays to, write blog posts and stuff if I'm not otherwise tied up doing other editing jobs.
All right. Well, let's move it on here. David says, I like Paul's sea shanty sing-along during Desert Bus. Does he have any recommendations for good CD or groups in that genre?
I do. My favorite. There's a group called the Fisherman's Friends of Norfolk. I think they're a English group, as you might have guessed. And if you get their early CD, I believe it's called "Suck 'Em at Sea."
I
So
beg your
which
pardon.
is a nautical term.
Sure it is.
But anyway,
right.
their newer stuff is they have like accompaniment with various things, and it's a little bit more orchestrated. But their early stuff is just the group of them. No, it's Fisherman's Friends of Newcastle. Fuck, what's the name? We're Fisherman's Friends of some. Anyway, but their older stuff is just the group of them doing a cappella singing, and it's really really great stuff. I think to get their early CD, you like go to their website and send away, and I think it's just like one of their wives sends it to you. They aren't super sophisticated setup, but it's super cool.
I've just noticed a problem with our podcast.
What's that?
The iMac is still displaying tap concede.
Womp womp. We'll just have to shoot that in.
No.
You want me to change it now?
Yeah, change it now.
All right, next question.
Next question. Johannes would like to know. I think the question's a little long here, but I think at the end of the day, he's trying to ask, will we see a return of normal Friday nights instead of the Hero's Path that we've been seeing?
Absolutely.
And yes, you will. Absolutely.
Just the amount of writing that would be required to write both 3 episodes of like the Hero's Path, because there had to be one for like pre-release and then launch day and then game day.
Yeah.
And an episode of Friday nights. We would
Yeah,
have
it's
no
just-
jokes about magic to make.
It's too much.
Too much.
So I can, Friday nights will be back. It'll be back next month, actually.
Yeah.
We shoot next week, or we shoot the new episode of Friday nights next week. So it'll be back. Dennis says, as somebody new to internet entertainment, how do you deal with people hating your content and being vocal about it?
It doesn't happen that often.
I don't think we're new to internet.
No,
entertainment.
I'm saying I think
he is.
he or she is.
Okay.
Well, I think that the thing you have to remember is that if people don't like your content, they don't have to watch it, and you don't have to feel bad if they don't like your content. You know, it's kind of silly that they have that they're just gonna, when I see something I don't like, I go, he's not for me, right? And that's fine, right? I do that with like lots of things, but I don't go and tell the people that they suck. And some people are not as mature, but you know what? Whatever.
Yeah, it's just.
I think the important thing to remember is that people only respond to things, if they have a strong reaction to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
and, unfortunately, often that reaction is a negative one. So for every 30 people or whatever, 100 people who liked it and were like, "Hey, that was really funny," but they don't see any particular reason why they need to like go out
talk
and
about it.
Talk about how much they enjoyed it. But if somebody got annoyed with it, they'll be like, "You wasted my time." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, don't watch
cool
it again.
story, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do have to kind of build up a bit.
Well,
of
it's
a
like
thick
if
skin
you
on
do
these
have
things.
people hating your stuff or have like a polarized view, I think it means that your content is effective. Because,
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
Paul said, it's creating a reaction, which means there's enough there. The worst thing is for you to do something and people to be like, "Okay," and just get no reaction.
That being said, I mean, there's a difference, of course, between people being just general assholes and actually people offering legitimate criticism,
which you must listen to,
which can be quite useful.
Yeah.
But yeah, feel free to ignore people who aren't saying interesting things.
if they just say you suck, screw them. If they say you suck, here's why and how you could fix it, maybe pay attention.
That
You could
seems like
fix it.
as a lot to ask from an internet commenter.
You could fix it by not sucking quite so much.
That's true.
It's like, have you tried not being a casual?
Next question.
Next question. Mike asks, so my friendly local game store just closed. That's sad.
Oh.
Any advice on finding
Too
a
friendly
new
is the
one and
problem.
becoming a part of their community? I mean,
Location,
and go see what the community in that store is like. I mean, you're gonna pretty quickly figure out if you belong somewhere or not, especially at like a local game store.
Yeah.
If you go in there for like an F&M and you walk away smiling, then there you go, you got a new store. But if you walk away tilting and angry and wanting to smash everybody's face, then that's clearly not the place for you.
It's also like, if there's a vacuum to be filled there, you could maybe, I don't know, make like a Facebook group, choose like a cafe or something to just meet in and play games.
I mean,
yeah, that's true. I mean, we've talked to people all the time who live either far away or just don't have a convenient game store close to them. And anything, you can just set up like it won't be like a sanctioned event or whatever, but you can set up just a casual game with friends or whatever. And of course there's always Magic Online.
Yeah,
as
the
well.
other thing is that like if you have a group of people, especially who you like and trust, you can do stuff like what we do here is occasionally we'll get everybody in on a big like internet order if people want to acquire singles. And you can save a lot of money getting, your decks together that way, because some places will offer free shipping over a certain amount. So if everybody gets in on it, you save a bundle and you get your stuff, even if there's no convenient place for you to get that kind of stuff.
All right. Moving on. Mark says, any Magic pet peeves?
Keep this down fairly low. One per person.
One per person. My major pet peeve when playing real, like in life, real Magic is very chatty opponents. I don't like that.
Oh, really?
No.
Really? I do not mind at all.
Okay, let me preface this by saying if I'm playing in an event, like if I'm playing at a draft at YJ, I'm a little more lenient on it. If I'm playing with you guys, obviously I don't care. We can chat and screw around, and that's fine. If I'm a Grand Prix or something like that, and I'm actually there to try to win and
you
take
feel
it
like
pretty
they're like
seriously.
actively trying to distract you almost?
You know what? It's a 50-50, right? Some of them are absolutely trying to, distract you and put you on edge,
Mind
right?
games.
Some people are just naturally chatty people, and I don't dislike them for that, but it's not where I want to.
I'm trying to concentrate.
Yeah, I'm trying to concentrate. I'm trying to play the game. Like this game takes a lot of power out of my brain, and I can't devote any of it to talking to you about whatever you want to talk about.
I think I will continue on that trend and say tilty opponents.
Yeah,
they're really annoying.
Yeah,
and like both ends. Like I don't usually get the sort of card throwy, freak out people, but people who like sort of passive aggressively tilt and just sort of like seethe.
When
it really makes me uncomfortable,
and it just becomes way not fun.
Yeah, the game just becomes a chore. It's like I just want to get through this, and every like play that I make that's good for me just makes them madder and madder. I'm just like.
I always try, sometimes you just get screwed, and I always try to remind myself it's a game and it's random, and sometimes that happens, and that helps me calm down. Although I do get kind of annoyed if I'm like, oh, man, I'm screwed in 3 games in a row. But I'm pretty easygoing. I tend to be a fast player. I tend to be chatty before and afterwards, but not while I'm actually playing, because I'm trying to concentrate. But there's one person I played against once that drove me nuts, because you know how there's a thing between games, you shuffle and stuff like that, and you look down at your deck to shuffle your cards, and I would shuffle my cards, and then he would already have 7 cards in his hand. And I was like, could you not do that, please? And he's like, I play a lot of Mitgo. I'm like, I didn't see if you shuffled your deck, and you're supposed to let your opponent offer to cut their deck, because this is a sanctioned event we're playing at.
Yeah, there's there's etiquette to that. It's like you shuffle your deck, you present it to cut or shuffle, or just say that's fine, then you draw your first 7.
Yeah, and it's not something I would ever care about if we're playing Magic around the table here, but if there's prizes on the line,
it's like, yeah, maybe don't just rip that first grip without letting me know that you've randomized.
Yeah, so that only happened once, and I was like, please don't do that. And then he did it again the second game, and I was like, no, seriously, it's like bad manners, and he didn't do it in the third game, but I had to give him the stink eye.
He learned.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Paul?
Pet peeve? Lands in front of spells.
I hate that so much.
All right. Lands in front of spells.
Or lands in front of permanents, I guess.
You don't even need to explain the rest of that. That's just bullshit.
All right.
Yeah.
We're
All
done.
right.
Those people need to be rounded up and, I don't know, re-educated.
Wow, okay.
Yikes.
Right. That is something that legitimately requires education.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like an actual classroom.
Yeah, I'm not talking about some sort of horrible camp here.
This is final solution.
No, this is an actual education thing.
Yeah.
That's why we put out those playmats. Fighty place is at the top, where you can see the things that are in the fighty place.
True story. All right. Frederick asks, in Tap Tap Concede, you've stopped answering Magic-related questions. Any reason? No, just we haven't really done a mailbag episode of Tap Tap in a while, and we'll probably do one soon.
Yeah. Also, we get a little bit self-conscious because we know we're not actually that.
Yeah,
we don't have that much authority from a Magic standpoint, but we want to do another sort of bringing in a judge like Serge or somebody from
the judge.
People from YJ or something, to try and do a kind of a
someone
where we actually have somebody with authority.
Yeah.
We'll get Nelson on one of these.
Isn't just us being this is what we did
Yeah.
and nobody seemed to say anything wrong.
All right. Philip says, what career did you want when you were children? I know this. As you know, okay, go for it.
I wanted to be a cartoonist.
All right.
Like when I was like 4.
Nice.
But I'm not very good at drawing. But I still do funny
She
things.
says
so
that,
I'm
but-
okay.
Paul? I had it worked out that I was going to be a programmer, like a computer programmer, and a librarian.
Nice. Okay.
So not super exciting for a kid. Like not like I'm gonna be a fire truck.
Yeah,
not a firefighter.
A fire truck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a copy of this publication that we did in elementary school where everybody answered those questions, and my response was, I want to be an inventist.
Oh, okay. That's
I
fair.
think
I never really followed that, but
I feel like you've succeeded. You are the greatest inventist I've ever known.
James, what was your dream job? As a child?
Hockey player, because yeah.
Hockey.
Because you were a
but
boy
after
in Canada.
because I was a boy in Canada, but after that, architect.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
I would never have imagined that.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Jonathan says, "Can Paul please bring back the beard?" Just say no.
Work on it.
Yeah, you start working on that, and we'll check in at the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
2, where does Alex get his character ideas from? I don't. I don't actually know what.
Which characters, like the ones that I portray in Loading Ready Run?
I don't know.
Also, this sort of dovetails into the where do you get your ideas?
It's true.
It's
They
almost impossible to answer that.
They
but
just-
like
And, I
the
mean-
legit answer is like it's basically a function of your life experience. It's like I don't actually know how to answer that question. It's just a thing that happens.
And I have
know.
to say, for Alex in particular, that is not a place I'd like to go. The place where Alex gets his ideas from, I don't think that's a
It's a
happy
silly
place.
You just see me like
It's a
tiptoeing down like this long spiral staircase.
It's
to
a
this,
scary
like,
place.
Cesspool.
Yeah.
I get like a long ladle and like pull some out. It's like
Yeah.
yes, these
Yeah.
findings.
All right. And question number 3.
There's a little imp in my brain that holds a bag, and he's like, giant salamis.
Ew. All right. Gross.
That is gross.
And a spoiler, too, depending on how early this goes up. And number 3, is not loving hockey considered a federal offense in Canada? No, of course
Nope.
it is not. That's silly.
Honestly, Tally and I know a lot more about hockey than was portrayed in the last feed dump. But when we were throwing around ideas, we thought it would be funnier than just naming teams to pretend that we weren't super into it, because Ash is, of course, known for how into hockey she is.
Yeah.
She's a hockey super fan. I am hockey aware, and Tally is
I am-
hockey adjacent.
I am
Yeah.
hockey ignorant. I don't know anything about hockey.
What's the thing they play with?
The
little black thing on the ice.
pole? No, it's a wad, right?
Yeah, you
they
got
call
it.
it a wad.
It's a
Yes.
wad.
It's
Yeah.
a
Correct.
basketball.
100% correct.
and they hit it. They hit it with the crooked pole.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the name of that device.
And what are they trying to put it into?
the
The glod.
The glop. Okay.
receptacle.
And then they get a touchdown.
Yes.
Yay!
And they get 4 points.
I know that one.
All right. James asks, if you could only play one color of Magic, what color would
Blue.
it be and why? Blue.
Because blue is best.
God.
If I was like stuck with it,
Yeah, if you were
Forever.
stuck with one color for the rest of your life,
red.
black.
Green.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
No love for white.
No sucks to be white, but
Yeah.
oh well. All right.
No, I get counter
well,
spells
I am a
and
s-
flyers.
It's
I'm
just
done.
because.
I am a simple man at heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like big stompy things.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the thing is, like mono red is good in every single format, even when they take away all the best cards. It's just
Nope.
always good.
Nobody said we were supposed to choose the good cards.
I just wanna. I like blue.
fun.
All right.
And James chooses black because he's evil.
Do any of you? Yeah, exactly. Do any of you play tabletop RPGs frequently? And what are some of your favorite stories or campaigns you've been through?
I haven't done that in a long time. I used to play a lot more. Cam is talking about doing an Eclipse phase.
He's
RPG,
been talking
which-
about that for
I
fucking
know.
2 years, and I'm like, I want to fucking play that.
So do
fucking
I.
put it together. I will fucking make a goddamn I'm just so annoyed about this. This is like all true. Just fucking put together a game. Pick a fucking night every 2 weeks, and I will fucking clear my schedule to play this. Just do it, and he hasn't.
He never will.
I want to
Right.
play that so
Oh,
badly.
it'll happen.
We're playing, but Paul
yeah.
and I are in a D&D campaign.
Yeah, we're in a
together.
D&D next game.
You're also in.
And tonight I am actually going to a Pathfinder game.
Ooh.
And actually, if you are, I won't obviously run down the story of the thing we're playing because nobody likes to hear people explain in long detail stuff that's happened a really long time. But if you are interested in the games that I have played, the first one that I played, with Dale, which took about 2.5 years, I think, to play, called The Serpent Skull, was the adventure we were doing. If you are interested, as part of the game, we did recaps of each week on Obsidian Portal, which is like a big
cool.
RPG thing.
My old D&D group used to do that as well. Like,
and so,
we didn't post it anywhere,
so if you look up Conscientious Objectors, which was the name of our campaign on Obsidian Portal, you can read all about the crazy serpent folk and all the stuff we did. And the current campaign we're running is called Hornswoggling Hobgoblins, and you can also read about what we do there every week. So there you go.
There's probably too many wonderful stories. Wonderful stories about possibly the greatest D&D character ever created, which is my character, which is possibly the most irritating person ever created for the purpose of a D&D campaign. There are many good stories about Pell, and I will probably I have talked to Jer. I know how to roleplay him really well, and since we're doing the Temple of the Lava Bears for your amusement, he will probably show up as a character in Temple of the Lava Bears because he's really, really awful. He's delightful.
All right. Evan asks, favorite Godzilla monster?
Oh, wow.
Mothra, because she's a girl.
I'm going with Veyran.
Ooh.
You know, I've not actually seen that many Godzilla films. Like, not many of the really old ones.
Did Godzilla actually ever fight Gamera? I don't think so.
I don't
think it was
know.
No,
just a
I don't know
knockoff.
if they ever did a crossover. Like, the one that really always stuck in my mind was Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, because my girlfriend and
just
I,
smoke?
at the time, we only survived watching that movie because we were fighting over the pillow to smother ourselves with. It was really bad.
Could have just turned it off.
Yeah.
No,
Mecha Godzilla.
death was a better option.
All right.
Mecha Godzilla, because that was my...
Oh, yeah, I love that
When
guy.
When I was a kid, that was my first introduction to the idea that if you just add mecha in front of anything, it makes it awesome.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that actually works. All right. Let's blast through a couple more questions. I apologize if we don't get to all of them. There were actually kind of a lot today.
It's Friday afternoon. People are bored at work.
Gregory says, where is your favorite place to shoot videos?
Ooh.
Like in town. Like, where's your favorite place to go up and shoot?
UVic seems pretty useful.
It's
like,
useful. I don't know if it's my favorite. It's definitely useful.
Yeah, I mean, it's far away.
I mean, I like shooting at the moon base.
It's convenient.
Well,
It's
yeah, it
convenient
has.
and-
Shooting at my house because I get to snuggle cats in between takes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
that's actually.
I don't like shooting at Grandma Kathleen's place because the cats
Cats
are always in the shot.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because they want to see what's happening.
Oh my God, those cats mug so much.
Well, the thing is, Baxter grew up with the filming thing, so he's just like, oh, what? He's not like a regular cat. He's like, oh, what's this? People attention? Ooh, maybe I'll get treats.
All right. Matthew asked, was LRRCon enough of a success to consider a 2.0? Consider yes. Confirm no. Jessica says, when will you be back in the Boston area? I would guess at PAX next year.
Yeah, PAX East 2015, unless something comes up.
Yeah.
Super packs.
John is asking about LRRCon stories because of the audio problems from the last podcast. I think we're going to put that up regardless, so you will hear those stories.
Just
or
a
you've
little bit,
or you've heard them stories
just a little
already.
bit crackly.
Who knows? Where on earth is Carmen Sandiego?
I think if you Google it, it tells you.
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there a chance that the Fail House will be coming back?
That
no,
seems
we have,
very
no, we have
unlikely.
Feed Dump now.
Yeah.
We have
That's
Feed Dump, exactly.
Feed,
There's only room for one group of people talking
I mean,
about dumb news
well, I mean, the
in
thing
Loading
is,
Ready Run.
they're all evolutions, right? And so each has its own particular flavor of its organizer too, right?
Yeah.
So.
All right. I like this question to end us off, and it's a little bit more involved though.
Okay.
What are some of the former or former regulars of LRR or just friends of LRR who we haven't seen in a while up to these days? So I'm really going to quickly, so we have a list, so we're not just trying to guess people.
Okay.
To go to the wiki.
I don't know any people who don't. I cut them out of my life completely
Wow.
when they
Jesus.
leave Loading Ready
Oh,
Run.
Just
Nice.
salt the earth.
That's just
Why
how
don't
that's just
you?
how it goes. I don't have
Cold
time
as
for
ice.
friends who are not also providing me some kind of benefit
The
in Loading
coldest
Ready
of
Run.
ice.
All right, let's go down this list. Morgan, he is
Dead.
working. Morgan is
Dead to Paul. Still
How
alive.
many
Wow.
people on this list are dead?
all of them for you apparently. Morgan is living in Vancouver, I think, although he might have moved back to the island. I don't actually know.
Downtown the other day.
I think he's working on Grace Point.
He was. They've wrapped up production now.
Morgan
so.
occupies like a probability sphere.
Yeah.
It's like he's somewhere within this general geographic area.
Morgan is being Morgan next.
If you observe him,
all right.
he actually
Morgan's being
coalesces.
Morgan. I'll say Bill's being Bill. He's around in Victoria still. Tim moved to Edmonton with his wife and
has two babies.
has two children now.
Chaining babbies.
Which the saddest thing is we can't put those babies into videos.
Yeah.
Because he moved away.
He
we
moved away.
got one of his kids into
How?
a
I
video.
don't feel like his
True.
wife would
Consider
be
it.
down with that anyway.
Yeah, she'd be fine.
We didn't get one of his kids into a video. So.
I think the youngest, or was it his
No,
first when he?
Calvin.
It was Calvin
first,
when he was first born. Yeah. Ben Wilkinson. He's still around.
He's still around. He's still a friend of ours.
Yeah, I see him.
Not dead.
Not dead to us. He's dead to Paul.
Last time, ways to waste the Kickstarter money.
Yeah, he was.
He let us borrow his boat.
He let us borrow his boat, and he returned for Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Ben has his own stuff going on, but if we're like, Ben, we need you, he's like, okay.
Brad.
He's in England completing his PhD.
And being
When
a
are-
lord.
Yeah.
No, like really actually.
When he's in town, he is. We try to get him into whatever we can, and so the last time you saw him was literally the last time he could have been in stuff.
Yeah.
He's so dreamy.
I know.
Oh God, it went away.
You broke it.
Who else is next? Nate Mosier.
Oh yeah.
He's still around.
still
He
around.
works at. He's a manager
Fifth
at
Street?
Rogers, and he works at 5th Street Bar and Grill.
Yeah.
Here in Victoria.
I did not know that. I should go there.
I see him. He lives right by my house. I see him like probably once or twice a week, just walking around.
Oh really? Nice.
Yep. You know about Kate? She hasn't really gone anywhere.
She's
Ash
in
is still
Europe,
very
isn't
much
she?
away.
No, she
She's
got
back
back.
now.
Oh, okay.
Lisette-
She was in Europe.
Lisette moved to Calgary and is now married with a child.
She had a baby too?
She had a baby too.
Everybody babby.
That was a while ago, actually. Wes Borg, what's Wes up to these days?
man.
He is being Wes. And
Yeah.
he was out of town for a while, and he's a hard guy to get a hold of.
Yeah.
He
I mean, I would.
is.
Wes was never like part of our
No.
crew. He was
No.
just he helped us out some stuff, and we helped him out in some stuff and things, and we
And
had
we
some
tried to get a hold of him
some
for,
mutual interests.
for a video a while ago, but
Yeah.
he was just like really busy.
He was actually originally going to be the conspiracy guy, the NASA
Oh,
conspiracy
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
that was
that's
going to be
right.
Wes.
Yeah, that was going to be Wes.
And we actually had him here to shoot it, but he was feeling like really bad, like he was like really sick to his stomach, and he was like, "I could probably do it." And we're like, "No, seriously, dude, just go home." And then he was like busy for the rest of time.
And so we're like, all right, never mind.
Yeah,
So
Wes,
Busy being sick
Wes
for
has
the
got a
rest
lot
of time.
he has a lot of his own stuff going on.
Is there
and
anybody
stuff,
else who we
but-
can think of? There's a lot of people on that list, but they were all just sort of like friends in one-off videos.
I mean, yeah, like the thing is,
people
like,
from like season 1?
I mean,
were
like
just-
Pat and Jeff,
Matt.
Matt.
Matt's
Yeah.
in Vancouver
Matt's in
being
Vic-
Matt.
everybody knows what
Jeff
Matt's
is
so.
here, and
Yeah,
if
Jeff's
we
still here.
were to need him, he would probably come in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pat moved and now lives in like the Okanagan
Wait,
I
as
think
a
he
chef.
moved. No, I think he lives in Vancouver now.
I was
actually.
trying to remember.
he's a chef though. Like
Yeah, he's
we,
a chef.
We had what did we like brought Jeff in for a little cameo not that long ago. It was something to do with Commodore Hustle as like a little reprise
Oh, yeah, that
of
was.
his character of Commodore Hustle, which I loved.
Let's see who else. I mean, if there's like all of the people that appeared in videos when I lived in Vancouver, like I'm still friends with all of those people. They just don't come over here that often, so we don't often press gang them into videos. Adam and Lindsay were just in a feed dump actually. Mike
Yep.
was at LRRcon
Yep.
doing trivia.
And Lindsay is when she's in town often helps us behind the scenes too.
Yeah, well, Lindsay, her actual job is she is a professional camera operator. She was one of the camera operators on Conspiracy.
She was.
Because we're like,
secrets.
we need a professional camera operator, and Jason, who we did strip search with, is booked. And I was like, that's Lindsay's job, right? And Graham was like, I did, but I did not remember. So that worked out well.
All right.
So,
That's enough for questions today. There were a lot of questions though, so I apologize if we didn't get to it. But
Yeah. All right.
next time.
Thank you,
next
everybody.
time.
Next time we'll be back onto the forums for the questions in
And-
2 weeks.
And we'll have Graham here to answer your questions.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't want to guarantee it. I don't know what Graham's doing in 2 weeks today.
Yeah. We know he wouldn't know he wasn't going to be here until like 2 days ago.
And let the man take impulse trips.
Exactly.
All right. See y'all later.
Bye,
All right,
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.